how's it going, everybody? For today's video, I thought we would take it back. Haven't done a video in my room in a very, very long time. I've just been so busy with the shop. I'm trying to, like I always say, get my schedule into a much better place where I could film more. So this is just sort of a impromptu video that I wasn't expecting to make, but I am extremely excited. So I was thinking about a couple different ways to do this video, and I think I'm just gonna show you and then tell the story for those interested. But long story short, I got that's a whole box, and then I got a whole other box here. Maybe I should have taken this out beforehand. I got these bad boys. Maybe you can see, maybe you can't. I don't know. I'm also filming at night, so. These bad boys are 405 Winchester. And if you know the story, I'll tell it again for anyone who's not familiar. So here we are. We are now in February of 24. I bought this bad boy back in March of 2023. This right here is a Springfield 1898 Craig Jorgensen. So they're pretty neat rifles, the way they open up, side gated here. This one's got a peep sight. It's got a very heavy bull barrel. Very neat, very cool rifle. I don't really know what these are worth, but I only paid $300 for this one, and I feel like it's, from all the research I've been doing, I feel like it's worth more. Now, the thing with this is originally these were chambered in 3040 Craig, and this bad boy has been at some point in time rechambered for 405 Winchester. I guess the caliber 3040 Craig and 405 are pretty similar, so it's not really a common. These guns were rechambered occasionally, and 405 was one of the possible chamberings. So with that, there was a new barrel. I don't know if this was the original barrel and they just rechambered it, or if they got a new barrel. Obviously the wood stock's not 100 years old. It's an aftermarket stock, but the receiver part is all original. So I think the barrel's probably original, but at least the receiver is. So yeah, I got this rifle back in March of 2023. So almost a full year ago. And it's a really cool 405 Winchester's a safari cartridge. Teddy Roosevelt famously used it a lot, and I don't own any safari guns, so I looked at that for $300. It takes away from its value because, like I said, it was rechambered to 405, but regardless, I still think it's a neat piece. So it's a really old Craig Jorgensen in a pretty cool caliber. Like I said, if you look at this box, and obviously I'll show you the ammo in a little bit, it's a huge box for 20 rounds. It is considered a safari cartridge. So I bought the gun, and not really knowing what I was walking into, I originally was looking all over the place. I put myself on like Midway USA, Palmetto, like all these different websites notify me when it comes back in stock. And one of the websites that was a huge help was AmmoSeek. You can just plug in a caliber and it tells you all the websites that have it. And at the time, there was one website that had it. It was called, I think, Obsolete Ammo, which kind of that right there should have given it away what I was walking into. So they were saying that 405 is so obsolete that they hand load either chop old cartridges or they'll make 405 out of other cartridges or whatever they need to do. Like I said, that should have been an indicator of what I was walking into. So many months passed, and the only place you could possibly get it, now there was a lot of scam websites because even the scam websites knew you couldn't get this stuff, but the only place you could really get it was Gunbroker. And in comparison, I'll use Midway USA because they were one of the ones that was that eventually had it. Midway had one box at 80, I think it was 89. Ooh, it was $89 a box. Maybe 80. Oh no, I'm confused. I think it was 80 something a box. Okay, it came out to about $4 a round. So all these fake websites would have it for like $2 a round, but when you go to the checkout, they only could pay with like Zelle or Cash App or something. You couldn't use a debit card. So a bunch of scam websites had it. I can only imagine how many people fell for that. So the only place for literally about a year that I could get this stuff was Gunbroker. And again, brand new production, Hornady, is about $4 a round. These people wanted like $150 a box for like old stuff that I may or may not feel comfortable firing. So they wanted well over what they were worth. Finally, there was a point last like August, September, something like that, where there was a crate. So Hornady made a custom crate, and it had 200 rounds of 405 in it. And I bid it all the way up to $1,000. And I finally, again, I was being naive, sort of, with like the availability of the stuff. And I let it go. I think the bidding went up to like $1,200, and I let it go. And I told the story before because that box is still sitting on Gunbroker. He bought it for $1,200, immediately listed it again for $2,500, and it is still sitting there to this day. Just crazy. So the whole guy's shtick on that is he buys old ammo, and at some point in time you'll pay it. At some point in time, 405 will be so hard that someone will pay it. So he just sits on all these old caliber rounds. So basically, I let that slip through my fingers, and after that it was a mess. So I looked into, at that point, I was looking into reloading, because realistically there's really no chance of me getting new ammo. The funny story I mentioned is last March when I got the gun, I emailed Hornady when they were like, hey, when are you guys expecting more in stock? And they even told me, oh, we'll get some in May, it's not a big deal. We should be doing a run soon. They never did a run. Like I said, it's been a full year without a Hornady production, at least that I could get. If they did sneak a run in somewhere, I was never alerted. Like I said, like every website that had it that I trust, I was on their notification for. But I was looking into reloads, which were like, getting all the dies, getting a simple hand machine. But then again, it's so brutal. The brass itself, the only place I remember was Midway had new production brass, but they wanted $7 per piece of brass. Absolutely insane. So at that point I was like, well, let me just suck it up, pay $150, $200 for a box on Gunbroker, and then what I can do is I can use the brass. So I'd buy a box like this, shoot the 20 rounds out of it, and then I have 20 brasses that I could then reload. So I was looking into that, and that's really what I was about to settle on. And then we started going down the path of opening up my gun store. And it's also, at the time, it was like the end of September, early October that we decided to do the gun store. So by the time we opened on January 4th, like I said, pretty much everything before that was just getting it up and running. And I kind of forgot about this. I was like, at that point, I'm not shooting for fun right now. I'm not doing anything for fun. Everything's going into the business. So I kind of forgot about it, set this off to the side, and didn't think much of it until, January. Business got up and running, life is good. But even then, it's cold out right now. And I had a buddy today even that was like, hey, you want to go shooting? And even then, like, I don't know, for me, I like to go out. I like to bring 10 different guns and, enjoy a couple hours worth of shooting with my buddies, I like to have a range day. I know everybody's different, but I like to go out, and I'm never a little side tangent, I guess. I'm not much of a tactical guy or anything like that. I love shooting, whether I'm good or bad at it. I mean, I just like pulling a trigger every now and then. So for me to take a bunch of guns out, new guns, old guns, whatever, and just go out and shoot, enjoy it, it's a lot of fun for me. But I like to, like I said, I like to go out and spend the whole afternoon there. I don't know why my nose just got so itchy. Like I said, so that's what I like to do. So even like today, my buddy wanted to go shooting, and I was like, look, it's cold out. You're going to go out there, you're going to shoot either with gloves on, or you'll get cold and like really quickly. Man, why did my nose get so itchy? Interesting. Yeah, you're just gonna get cold real quick, so why would you, even bringing this out, like, I could have brought it out. I haven't shot it yet. Getting a little ahead of the story here, but, man, why is that so itchy? I think I'm talking too much right now. Oh. Anywho, I'll just leave that in there. Who cares? But yeah, like, so right now, my point originally was, why, in the middle of January, am I going to worry about getting these rounds? And I don't really want to take it out and go shooting right now. It's not a good weather for it. I want to take this out, and I'm probably going to take this out in the near future just to make sure she works and everything, but I want to take one of these rounds and blow up a pumpkin. I mean, this stuff is meant to take down an elephant. So, like, I want to use it for its full potential. But, so my point, many sidetracks ago, my point is I wasn't worried about it right now. And so what I was going to do was I was going to wait until probably like March, April, something like that, when it starts getting a little warmer, to buy a box and then just shoot that box, and then I was going to reload the brass for it, and then we'll kind of go from there for the future. But what just recently happened is one of my notifications hit that Midway had it back in stock. And, well, actually, technically Chattanooga had it back in stock, so I can get it from a dealer level. I don't wake up, on my off days, I don't wake up till like 10 o'clock. And they gave me the notification at 7 in the morning that it was back in stock. So by the time I woke up, it was out. So Midway alerted. They were, well, you could buy one box, and that was it, per address, one box. It was $100 a box, and brand new obviously this is brand new production. And the really cool thing with Hornady that I like, really good rounds, try to get quiet here, is on their lot number, the second number is 24. So I can always tell that this was made in 2024. Any Hornady stuff, you can tell the year that it was produced. So obviously I got this at the in February, so I know that this is they just did a run. So Midway had one box. I bought it, and I had my brother order a box and shipped it to another address. So I had 2 boxes secured at $100 a box. And like I said, originally I'm thinking, look, this is it. Midway, I pulled it up on AmmoSeek. Midway was the only place that had it. So I said, okay, I secured 2 boxes. Let me reload those boxes and kind of go from there. But then I got the notification about 2 or 3 days later that Grab-A-Gun had it in stock. Grab-A-Gun's a great company, very reasonably priced. They had it for I think it was $65 a box, with free shipping. So naturally, I already had 2 boxes. I knew that these were six in a case, so I bought 10 off of Grab-A-Gun. So that way the 2 I had coming in, makes 12, so I have 2 full boxes here, or cases of 405 Winchester. Now, obviously this just came in. I'm literally looking at it for the first time this morning when it came in. And let me tell you, if I can do this quietly here, you should be able to look at the size of this box and tell it's a pretty decent round. So, without further ado, this is 405 Winchester. I don't know if if my camera can do it justice. This is the palm of my hand with I don't know, it's like the size of my index finger. It is so it's a 400 caliber round, or 40 caliber round, but it is out of an absolutely massively long cartridge. And I bet you this thing has some kick to it. There's no doubt in my mind that this is a fun, it's an elephant gun, and this should be quite the experience to shoot. So I've loaded it up. Now, realistically, I think this thing only holds 3 rounds. And I have absolutely no idea what I am in for. This could be an absolute shoulder blaster, and so realistically, even if I take my friends to the range, to go through 12 boxes of this stuff should last me several years, because realistically, I'll use my 4570. I have a single shot Henry as the example, and typically when you take that out to the range, between me and my buddies, we shoot about 10 rounds for like a 2 or 3 hour range day. So by that logic, I should have 24 range days out of this. And obviously not every range day I'm going to be bringing that thing out. That'll probably come out like once or maybe twice a year. So realistically, this ammo should last me many, many years. And what I'm going to do, obviously I can be a little, I don't need to save all my brass, but I'm going to save the brass for this, so that way if they ever do, clearly Hornady is still very slowly making them. Like I said, either I missed the run that they did last year, or this is the first run they've done in a full year. But I'll save the brass for this stuff, so if it ever does become, truly obsolete, but at least I know Hornady is still making it. And like I said, I just went ahead and bought a whole mess of it, so at least for the next probably 5, maybe even 10 years, I don't have to worry about 405. I have it. To be honest, I could get a second gun in 405, and I still would have plenty of ammo. But, now, the kicker to all this, and the reason kind of I'm making this video is, A, I'm excited. I've been looking for if you followed this channel for any amount of time, you'll know I've been looking for this for a very long time. The reason I'm kind of making this video is, at the end of the day, I went through this it's a year-long search for this ammo and everything, and to be honest, I can't really prove that gun is chambered in 405 Winchester. And what I mean by that is it's definitely been rechambered for a new caliber other than 3040 Krag. The gentleman, so I picked this up off my local gun shop, and the gentleman brought it in. Well, it was his son, because he unfortunately passed. So his son brought it in with a box of 405 Winchester ammo. It was all hand loads, and half of it was shot up. So he has a gun chambered for 405, and his son thought it was this, so he brought them in together. So really, I have no true proof. It's very highly likely I have chambered a round in there. It kind of scratched up my brass a little bit. I think it's just the way of 3040 Krag's designed, but or Krag Jorgensen. But I really have no proof that thing's chambered in 405. So after a year-long search, me buying tons of ammo, I can't prove that gun will even shoot it. So the sort of the fun of all of this, I think a lot of this is just the fun of the hunt kind of thing. Just trying to find ammo for this is insane, and now that I've been on this nice year-long search for it, I finally have some. But I can't prove that gun. Now the answer is I'm gonna just shoot it. The very first round's gonna be shot from a lead sled, and theoretically, if it blows up, I had so much ammo here, I will just buy a 405 Winchester. Ruger made it was a number 1, I think it was a rolling block. And there's a couple guns chambered in it, but I would just buy a new production 405 and be done with it. But I guess we'll see. But you can finally stop hearing about me, complain about trying to find some of this stuff. The only other thing, so since I found this, the only other thing is my Mountain Dew Supernova. I'm still trying for that one day. That's my main goal here, is one day I get big enough that Mountain Dew will bring back the Supernova. And I think it was like 2011 since the last time I've had that stuff. It's been over a decade. I really need my Supernova back. Mountain Dew, please. If somebody works for Mountain Dew, please. Alright, that's enough of that. But finally got my 405. Pretty happy. And yeah, I guess one of these days I will shoot it and let you guys know. Either I will be showing you pieces of a gun and it blew up, or we have a crazy story to tell. But I guess that's about it for today. Let me know if you want to see anything else, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.